What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Sega Man, back with another video. And this is an inspiring video by my brother, Unlimited Productions, when we did the Alpha podcast this recent weekend. And I was mentioning, games that I like and, games that I played, for nostalgia reasons, because, I'm a collector, right? So he said, Sega man, you need to do one of those again. You haven't done one of those in a long time. And you know what? I haven't. Now, I don't, a lot of people, they come to my channel to hear about gaming news, what we think about what's going on in the gaming community, the toxic trolls and everything that want to always damage control for Sony and always talk down about Microsoft's Xbox, you know what I mean? But I'm also a collector, guys, and I'm a gaming enthusiast, you know what I mean? I am a connoisseur of gaming. I'm an OG, and I've been collecting games, video games, for a long time, actually. You know what I mean? For a long time. Probably before some of you were even born. These games were out and you weren't even born yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down nostalgia lane, you know what I mean? We're going to go down nostalgia lane back into 1995 with the Sega Saturn, okay? Now, I don't have the system offhand with me. It's hooked up in my game room, but we're going to go through a few games, some you've heard of, you know what I mean? Some you might not have heard of, you know what I mean? Depending on your age bracket, you know what I'm saying? And, we're going to go over the way the case is, look at some artwork just a little bit, and there is a few games that are in here. There's not many, guys. There's not many games I put in here for us to go back down, to retro nostalgia lane. But these games have really come up in price a lot. Some of these games in here are over $100. You know what I mean? So we're going to go over some of the Sega Saturn games that your boy Sega Man collects for. You know what I'm saying? Now, the first one we're going to look at real quick, guys, this is an import game. This game is actually from Japan because if you want this game US, which is hard to find now, and if you do, you're going to pay a lot for it, a lot than what I paid for it, even to get it imported. You know what I mean? Now, I think you could probably find some places that are cheaper, probably depending on how it comes. A lot of these guys that are out here on eBay and Amazon like to sell disc only, you know what I mean, of the US version of these games. Now, if you want to complete in its shell casing, it's going to cost you well over $100, well over. So, we're going to look at this one, and this is called Golden Axe The Duel. And this was Golden Axe version of a 2D, like a Street Fighter kind of fighting game. Okay, and this is it. This is Golden Axe The Duel for the Sega Saturn. It has pretty nice, neat artwork. It comes in a regular CD jewel case, but this is a good game, and I've played it on Saturn and beat it with one of my favorite characters on here. The artwork is, for it being an import, the artwork it's pretty decent, I have to have some kind of lighting, guys, so, it might be a little blurry to you during the video, but it is a good game, you know what I mean? What I like about the Sega Saturn import games is that the disc itself is totally different than what you get US version when you buy Sega Saturn games, or I believe Dreamcast also. But the artwork on the disc is actually, it's pretty cool. It's not real colorful or anything, but sometimes these discs, when the art is on the disc itself, kind of look better than like an Americanized version of the disc, and I'll show you that with a couple of the other Sega Saturn games that I have. But I always keep my games in pristine condition. It is very important if you become a collector of Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast, or any older vintage CD systems like Sega CD. It is very important, and it is protocol to me to keep these in pristine condition And this is in excellent condition. No scratches, no nothing. You know what I mean? Pristine condition. And that's what you want to keep these discs in. You know what I mean? So, and I'll show you the book here real quick. Now, you have to watch with some of these books, you know, when they come out of the case, because you can actually kind of tear the paper of the artwork. But this is the, like you see that, like I showed you the front of it, right? You can see it better because it's not in the jewel case, right? Now it came with a card in here. Now this is all in Japanese. You know what I mean? I guess it's a description of the game, you know, in Japanese and stuff like that. It comes with a soft information volume 3, right? And it's a Sega Saturn. Actually, it's a Sega Saturn little pamphlet in here of other import Sega Saturn games that you can actually, you know, get. You know, like it has a little, you know, a little book here. I like the way the Sega Saturn logo is for the Japanese versions of the game. And it tells you the lineup on the back. It shows you different types of games, how the games would come. You know, different things like that. A lot of these look like some of these are RPG-ish games. But they did a very good, you know, they did a very good job on presenting that, putting that in here. You know what I mean? And then, you know, there's some other stuff like artwork. I think there's artwork in here. Yeah, it shows you the game. Moves and stuff written in Japanese. You know what I mean? Very cool. You know, it even gives you a little bit of artwork of like some of the creatures and some of the things that are in there. So they did a really good job with this casing. You know, and every time when I would get these games, I would not really like look at all that. I would look at it once and then put it away back in its case, you know, in its original form. And you want to watch when you put these back in to the jewel case to make sure that they're under the plastic tabs, because if you don't, it'll be wear and tear on your game, and it can actually mess up the front cover of the artwork. Now, this game, I'm not sure what you can get it for now. I believe when I got this game, I paid around, I think it was imported, $25 or $30 back then. Now, this could be up to $70, maybe more, because people are really, really wanting to collect for the Sega Saturn. One thing about the Sega Saturn, it's very hard to collect for. Give me 1 second, guys. My phone's ringing. Give me 1 second. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I had to get a phone call. But if you want to start collecting for import Sega Saturn games, you're also going to need a Mega memory card to put in back. It's a tape that you put in back of the system. If you don't have that, you won't be able to play import games. So you're going to need the Mega memory cartridge, or a Sega Saturn region code cartridge that you can put in back. Depending on price, some of them can get very expensive. So let's get into another game that was on the Sega Saturn, which was a pretty good game. And at first, I didn't even know this game made it to the Sega Saturn. My friends had a mom and pop game shop, which is no longer in existence, but they gave me this game on a trade that the owner, Anna was her name, you know, and there was a couple of old NES games that I had, and she won it, and she traded me for this game complete in its case. This game is very expensive right now if you want to find it complete in its shell casing. And that is Contra for the Sega Saturn. The artwork on this is pretty decent. As you can see, it's totally different from collecting imports. Big difference, huh? For the Sega Saturn, right? So this is a great game on the Sega Saturn. You can even play this in 3D. This is Contra Legacy of War. I seen this game going for over $190 one time. Now, I don't know how much it is now, but I know it's very expensive right now. A lot of these games, like I said, are very expensive to collect for your Sega Saturn. As you can see, it's in these big jewel cases. And the infamous thing that would happen with these cases is that they would break at the top right here where you open it. Infamous for that. And I think later on Sega Saturn went to cardboard, which made it worse. You know what I mean? Because if you want to put them on your bookshelf or anything, they can get smashed and ripped. So they make plastic casings now that you can put the cardboard case in and then put it on your shelf, and it should be fine. You know what I mean? With those, you can order those on Amazon. But this is how they used to come originally. And if you open it up, you know, it has the big book inside, but like I said, I keep my stuff in pristine condition. When you would get these Sega Saturn games, they came with even the little sponge that went in there, I guess to help hold it in place like when shipping. And there was these little sponges that came inside there to actually hold the game in. So when you would get these games, they would have this in there. You know what I mean? Now, if you look at the Sega Saturn US version of the game, doesn't really have that much artwork on it. Kind of looks like, like army fatigue. You know what I'm saying? Colors on there, right? But it would come with, this big booklet here, right? I have to be careful with those. I drop that and that breaks, the value goes down. And it would have like a game on here on the back, advertisements, Crypt Killer. Crypt Killer right now for Sega Saturn is very expensive. I've seen it for $200 in its case. But Crypt Killer was one of those games that people kind of dug back in the day. But that is the advertisement for it right there. But it came in these big books like this. Contents, like that. It would show you the Sega Saturn and the controllers and what you do in the game. Not really much artwork in these. You know what I mean? It'll show you menus and stuff. It'll show you a little bit of gameplay of it inside there. You know what I'm saying? And that's about it. Here's a little bit of artwork. Here's a little bit of artwork and a little detail of the characters, so you get to know their backgrounds and stuff like that. Very well done in black and white. You know what I mean? But, that's what that looks like. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only going to show you those because if I show you every one and open it up and everything, this video is going to be real long, and I don't want the video to be that long. You know what I mean? So that gives you an idea, and that's the back of it. That gives you an idea of the US versions of Sega Saturn games. Okay, so let me move some stuff over here so I can put this down. So the next one we're going to go into, right, is one of the best games I ever played on Sega Saturn. I still play it today. When I first got this game, I played this game for hours. Hours, man. I'd be having a beer, a couple beers, having a little tokey toke back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And I would have, back in the day, friends over and stuff, and they'd be, man, that game is dope, man. So the next one we're going to talk about is by Acclaim and Marvel Comics. Very expensive game. You could probably get the disc for, I don't know, 20, 30, I don't know. Okay, but it is an arcade, number one arcade smash hit. GamePro gave it all 5s, and it is a direct port of the game to the Sega Saturn. Very well done, very colorful, just like the arcade game in the arcade. You don't have to go to the arcade to play it. You're playing the exact game at home. And they did a great job on it, and it is X-Men Children of the Atom. This is a great game. Now on this, there's very good, kind of good artwork on there. You know what I'm saying? Very well done, from sound, graphics, exactly like you would remember playing this in your local arcade. You know what I mean? And this was very, very well done. There goes my sponge falling out of there. It, like I said, I mean, it's not too much in the way it looks. You know what I'm saying? You see college hoops there. You know what I mean? And it has a little sponge and everything. But this is one of the best fighting games ever made on the Sega Saturn. So if you're going to collect, guys, if you can find it on the cheap, even if you just have to get the disc, man, it's definitely well worth it. It's definitely well worth it. The graphics on here, the sound effects, the character models in the game are to the T. They did an awesome job with this game, guys. But this is another one to collect for. Now, this is probably, I'd say, about maybe $80 to $100 complete. I'm not sure. Some people give astronomical prices for these. You'll see people trying to sell this for like $250. Some people might say about $300. Some people do that. That's stupid, but some people might try to sell these for $300. I mean, they're rare games. They are. It is very expensive to collect for the Sega Saturn. It definitely is. You know what I mean? But you can probably find this at a fair price. Just getting the disc. Now, with it in its shell casing and it not be broken or anything, you're going to pay. You're going to pay at least $150. You know what I mean? Or at least $100. $190. I'm not sure. It depends on who the seller. You know what I mean? Now, the next game we got here, guys, was another great shoot 'em up. You guys know I love shoot 'em ups by Acclaim. And this game is actually the name of one of Hebot's son. That's right. He named his son after this very, very popular and still great game. And it did look better and play better on the Sega Saturn. The PlayStation version is good, but the Sega Saturn did it better. They just did. And that is Darius Gaiden, or Darius, depending on how you want to say it. This is complete in its box. Now, I traded in a whole bunch of stuff a long time ago at my exchange, and I told him I want this, which was part of my trade. You know what I mean? Now, this game is expensive now, too. This is probably up there in the $80 to $90 range, complete. I'm thinking. Some people might say $100, $120. But Darius, or Darius, how you want to say it, Gaiden, is one of the best side-scrolling shoot-'em-ups ever, and the music is stupendous. In the PlayStation and Saturn games. Very, very, very strange, very mystical-like music, man, and I'm digging it. You know what I mean? And this is a great game, guys, to collect for your Sega Saturn. You could probably get just the disc for $30, $25. It all depends who you get it off of. And it all depends on if it's scratched or messed up. I got a little code in there. You know what I mean? A little code I do on there. But this is what it looks like inside. Now, this one doesn't have the sponge, all right? Because when I got it, it didn't. But the disc is in really very good condition. No scratches, no nothing on that. And it has a little plastic here. Some of them came differently. But that's what it looks like there. Not much artwork on the disc, but this is another one to collect for. Let's take a look at the back. Very, very awesome game. Good graphics for a 32-bit system back then. Luscious colors, man. They took their time when they made these games back in the day with detail. Detail is what matters also in gaming, guys. And this was a great shoot 'em up for the Sega Saturn, man. And it is a very awesome game. I highly think you should collect for it. Now, I know you can get this, I believe, on your PS4 and Nintendo Switch. You can't get it on the Xbox, and I don't think it's going to come there. But I always can enjoy my Darius or Darius games on my Sega Saturn or my PlayStation 1. You know what I'm saying? Great game, guys, to get into that one. Now, this one I didn't know existed on Sega Saturn. This game has become expensive. I've seen it for $180. Complete in its box. A lot of people didn't know that this was on there. They thought this just was on PlayStation, all right? And this game is the original, by Capcom, original Resident Evil. Look at that artwork. Now, that artwork to me looks better than the PlayStation version. Look at that artwork. Be a nice t-shirt, huh? Or something. Very nice. Very good condition. Now, I got this a long time ago for a whopping $15. Right? Now this game is way over that. Now it didn't come with its sponge and everything, but like I said, it's plain, like I said. You know what I mean? But it's in very good condition. And that's what's important about these games, is to keep them in very, very good condition. The little book there, you know what I'm saying? But Resident Evil on the Sega Saturn, now it's not going to be great. The one that was on the PlayStation wasn't too, but you got to remember these were 32-bit systems, and pixels and stuff like that back then were amazing to us back then. Before you guys were even born, it was great to see games like that. You know what I mean? Because we were used to always 2D side-scrolling games and stuff like that. But when they started coming out with, 3D games and different things like that, yes, they're going to look choppy, they're going to look messed up. But back then, we were just really amazed by the gaming technology and how it was, evolving into what it is now. So this is a great game to have on the Sega Saturn. And I thought people back then thought Resident Evil would never make it to Sega Saturn, but it did. And this is it right here. Resident Evil, the classic. Now, the next one was a really fun game. This is an in-house Sega game. Love this game today. Still play today. It would be nice to see if they can put this game on the Xbox Series X or the Xbox family, because Fighting Vipers is on there, and so is Virtual Fighter 2 is on there digitally. But it would be nice to see Fighters Mega Mix. Fighters Mega Mix. Sega always were, always opening the envelope to different types of things to do in their games. And so what they did with this is they added Fighting Vipers and, Virtual Fighter 2 and hidden characters in this game where you can play all different types of characters from all different genres of fighting games that they had. You can use the fighters from the Sonic fighting game in here. You can unlock them. You can unlock different characters from Fighting Vipers. You can unlock the car from Daytona, and you can use the car as a fighter. There's even a code, I believe, where it's the AM2 tree or something, and you can use that. So they were just trying to have fun with this fighting game. This has 32 champions, in this game, and it is very, very unique, very awesome, very good mixture of fighting characters in this game. This is very great to collect for. Now, I don't think this is very expensive. Maybe $60 complete. You'd have to do your homework, but it's a very fun game, guys, and I really enjoyed it back in the day, and I played hours and hours with this game. And the fun factor is what this game is. It's all about fun, and this game, Fighters Mega Mix, was a really awesome game, and that does have the sponge in it. As you see, I have this too. They have the little Die Hard Arcade advertisement in there, which is another great game that came on the Sega Saturn. All right. Last but not least, this game was very hard to find back in the day, but I found it for a reasonable price. This game is very expensive right now to collect for. It was the best version of this fighting game. It is better than the PlayStation 1 version, because I have that one too. It is way better. Sound effects, fighting mechanics were just better and faster on the Sega Saturn than the regular PlayStation. I seen this game for $200. I shit you not, in its case. Now, I found mine back in the day for $25. Okay? And it is, a lot of people are looking for this. It is Mortal Kombat Trilogy for the Sega Saturn. Very expensive game right now. Very expensive game. It has all the characters from all the previous games in it. This is one of my all-time favorite Mortal Kombat games ever. Ever. My favorite 2D fighting game is Mortal Kombat. It's not Street Fighter. Street Fighter is a good game, but Mortal Kombat, in my opinion, beats Street Fighter hands down. That's my opinion. It is my favorite 2D fighting game. Okay, it has all the characters in it, from Morlock to Shiva to all the boss characters in it. Montaro, you know what I mean? All those guys in there. Goro, Kintaro, which was one of my favorites, and it has Smoke, Rain, all of them in here. A great compilation of all the characters are in this game. Okay? And I keep it in good condition. It doesn't have the sponge, but this is it here. You know, nothing really much to look at. But that's it there. In very good condition, as you can see. You know, no kind of, rips or tears or anything like that. But this is another good game to collect for your Sega Saturn, guys. It's expensive to collect and be a Sega collector. You know, take it from your boy, Sega Man. It is very expensive right now to collect for some of these games, all right? That's all I have today, guys. I wanted to do this in honor of my boy, Unlimited Productions, because he asked me, he said, you should do more of those. Now, I'm not going to do these all the time. I'm going to do them every once in a while, and I'm going to just take you down memory lane, guys, when it comes to collecting for Sega or Nintendo or even 3DO or TurboGrafx, the systems that I own. I'm going to do more videos, but they're not going to be all the time. So I thank you for joining me. I want to give a shout out to all my Xbox brothers out there and all the Alpha brothers that rock out with us on the Xbox Alpha podcast. And shout out to my other podcast with my brother E-Rock, the Don King of Xbox, the Exile podcast, man. Come and join us on on our podcast on Exile, on Alpha. Check out Intramedia Gaming with my homie 100. He just did a great video that made me laugh my ass off about the damage control. And I heard about the console wars. And he's right. So go check his video out. Shouts out to my homie, my G100. Flip the Script, Flip Money, Intramedia Gaming Incorporated. Shouts out to everybody on the intraweb. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this walk down memory lane of Sega Saturn, guys. All right, so you guys enjoy the rest of your week. We will see you this weekend, man, on the Alpha Podcast, all right? Peace and love, guys. Xbox for life. We don't die. We multiply. Peace. Outro.